was created, and I'm so excited for our students to be able to present it to you. So. Oh, I need to click.
Oh,
yeah.
First,
Get us a clicker.
First we'll do introductions. My name is Janelle Gale. I'm a senior, and I'm in AP Spanish.
My name is Molly Cole. I'm a junior in Spanish 3.
My name is Caitlin Youngblood, and I'm a junior in Spanish 3.
And I'm Samuel Zinga. I'm a senior in AP Spanish. So, just a quick introduction about our school. We're the Gwinnett School of Math, Science, and Technology in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Like, it's east of Atlanta, not very far. We're a public charter school, and we're mostly STEM school. And normally when we tell people that we're a STEM school, they're like, so do you not take, like, social studies? And we're like, no, we still take social studies, and we still have foreign languages. So we offer Spanish, German, and Chinese. I think it's in our charter to offer Japanese, but that's
We're
not.
gonna add another language too soon.
Is it Japanese?
Maybe Korean or French. We'll see.
Okay. And we're a relatively small school. We have less than like 1,000 students.
Secret?
Oh, I will mention these. We are going to speak later about particular chapter activities. Is that correct?
Yes.
Later. Okay, so I'll save this for later.
Alright, so for this project with Penpals that we had a sister school in Granada, Spain. It's a Catholic school that the full name is Colegio Santo Tomás de Villanueva, but they call it Agustinas Recoletos. And that's a picture of the school on the other side, and then this is a picture of Granada. And we got connected with them through Sunita Roberts is one of our Spanish teachers, and she went to school with someone at UGA, and she's teaching English at this school, and so their English class is connected with our Spanish classes here.
She's one of my closest friends.
So I'm going to go over the email protocol. Basically, so the kids in Spain learn the same things that we're doing. So since they're learning English, we get to do 2 emails in Spanish for our benefit, and then they're going to do 2 emails in English, and then like that helps us out so that we get we're going to send 1 email to them in Spanish. They're going to respond, and they're going to correct what we've sent to them because they like know Spanish from like when they were born and stuff like that. And then when we send like an English email, they send an English email to us, and then we correct their corrections. Like they say things like different than us because like they don't really know the language. Like we say different things different to them. And that's where the 2 corrections come from. And like we can do the optional participation in the video conferences. So like she has a video conference with the children who actually live in Spain, and like we get to see them and stuff like that. So that's cool.
So this is an example of some of the emails we send. So this is an email that my pen pal sent me in English, one of the English emails. So she had small mistakes. So this is, if you guys know the word for high school in Spanish is colegio, she translated to college in English. So I just highlighted her mistake in red, corrected it in green, sent it back to her in a Word doc, corrections. This is something I sent her in Spanish, and so she did the same thing, my mistakes in red, green, and then you can't tell on the slide, but we attach like comments on the Word doc. It's like, oh, this is why this is wrong, or sometimes she'll say things that are a lot more similar to British English, so they're not incorrect, but I'll just be like, hey, this is technically right, but we wouldn't really say that in America if you want to say this instead. So there's a lot of cultural knowledge that comes out of it, idioms, phrases, and small errors, que, cual, el, or un, things you wouldn't think about maybe in the classroom, but that are really important to know if you want to achieve a higher level of fluency in target language.
So past just the emails, there's a lot of opportunities we've gotten just from having this like friendship with this other school. They mentioned the video conference earlier. We Skyped with them last year. The first year we were doing it, we Skyped with them, and then we're going to Skype with them again later this year. And so we went in early because obviously the time difference, we had to do it where it was working out for both of us. And so we just sat down and chatted with the people that we had gotten to know over the emails over the time. And then this is a text. If you guys know the app WhatsApp, it's like an international texting service basically. So my pen pal and I, we got a lot closer than like most of the pen pals did. So we kept emailing each other after we had to stop, or we were supposed to stop. And then we eventually just switched to WhatsApp because it was easier than long form emails because she went to university and so she had less time. So this was, one of my friends in class went to Spain for a couple of days with his dad, and so I was telling him about that, and I was saying how I was jealous of it. And she's like, so do you want to visit Spain? I was like, yeah, I can. I would love to, but So she asked, would you want to come here this summer? And I was like, yeah, I would love to, but I can't just fly over to Spain on a whim. She's like, I'm not sure if you understand me. You have an invitation to come here if you want. So she personally invited me to come stay with her this summer, and that's possibly going to happen if I get permission from my mom and other specifics that need to happen. And so just being able to talk on other social media outside of email is just another thing we've gotten to do through this project.
So I'm going to go over the benefits. Basically, the benefits that we get out of this is being able to communicate with native Spanish speakers who can correct things in our grammar. Like maybe, like when you're speaking to other gringos, they probably won't correct things in their. they won't correct things because they don't know. They think just the way that you do. But people who've been speaking it since they're kids, just like we speak English all the time, they can help correct what you're saying and stuff like that. And we're becoming familiarized with like one of the special dialects of Spanish, and that's the Spain Spanish. So that's good too. And it gives the Augustino students, the ones who live in Spain, a chance to like get extra help with their English, and we learn each other's cultural nuances back and forth.
Okay, some of the challenges that we have with the Penpal program. Well, for one, I guess you guys are all Spanish National Honor Society members, so you guys would like love to do this, and you guys would really engage the program. But sometimes, like, we get students that don't really want to participate. So if you're supposed to respond to your Penpal by Wednesday, you'll get people like a month later. They're like, "Oh, I still haven't responded to my Penpal." And so, since we do this for a grade, it's like there are like guidelines that we have to set, and that makes it a little hard to like control. And there's also like different forms. Like in class we don't really learn like Spain Spanish, but since they speak like really formal Spanish, it's a little like there are little like nuances that we have to like learn. And it's like, oh, what did you mean when you said this? And it's like, oh, this is how we say this.
Okay, so this is my Penpal, and I'm an example of what can happen when the Penpal thing goes wrong. Because okay, so like the first few emails, he would like respond and stuff like that, and he'd write little paragraphs. Like maybe once or twice he responded to me actually, and like he actually sent photos, like 4 photos of himself at once. Then like I would like message him and stuff, and he wouldn't respond. And the thing with like this is like you have to keep on messaging them even if they don't respond. So it's kind of like weird because like I'm sending him emails and he's still not responding. And like my teacher told him like, will you please respond to the emails? And like he still hasn't responded. So yeah, that's my Penpal.
My pen pal's name is Natalia. I was switched into the Spanish class halfway through, so we haven't been in touch as long as the other pen pals, so we haven't sent any pictures or anything, so I don't have a picture of her, unfortunately. She's very sweet. We have a lot of mutual interests, so we're getting along very well. I'm probably going to be writing back to her tonight or tomorrow when I get home. She wrote me last week, and she's great, and I'm having a really good time with the experience.
And this is my pen pal, Lara. Her full name is actually Maravilla, but I just call her Mara because she told me that's what her friends call her. So maybe I'm a friend. So yeah, what I like to do with Mara, I like to like share music interests. So I like music a lot, and so does she. So I share like certain songs that I like and tell her, oh, go listen to this, and she'll do the same for Spanish music. And we also like to share like. What she emailed me last time was, what's your favorite phrase or word in English? I had no idea. And then she was like, my favorite word in English is reckon. And I was like, where did you learn that? And she was like, oh, in class we were talking about like idioms and expressions, and we went over like, I reckon. Okay, I don't really use that, but okay. So yeah, I actually really enjoy the program, and she's sweet. I've actually added her on Snapchat, so. Should I Snapchat her?
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. Or you can go on it now.
Do it.
Yep.
Go back a few slides.
Should I click on Mark?
Go back a few slides.
I'm gonna go back.
Yeah. Another. Back.
Back.
There's
Left.
no. Back. But she's skipping my slide.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean, is there a slide missing?
I think it was
Yeah,
before.
there's a slide with
before
Lara.
Caitlin's.
Oh, before Kate.
one of us. One of us.
Okay. So I have multiple pen pals because I had Senorita last year when we started the project, and then AP Spanish class is doing it this year. And then there was some schedule changes, so some of the kids left AP Spanish, and so someone needed 2 pen pals. And then that person at the end isn't actually my pen pal, but I met him through Mo, but I'll get to that in a second. So Mo is my first pen pal. She's the one who invited me to come to Spain. Her full name is Maria del Almogo de Cañadillas, but everyone calls her Mo. And then she was my original pen pal, and after I met Javi through her because I sent her like a package for her birthday that had some like American things in it, and then he was one of her best friends, so I wanted it to be a surprise, so I asked him for her address, and he trusted me enough to give it to me. It all worked out okay, and she loved it, and then this is my pen pal from this year. It's a little small, but I wanted you to see the background too, because it looks pretty. This is Julia, and she also, they're all really sweet pen pals. I've been lucky because some of my friends' pen pals are not responsive, but all of mine respond like within the next couple of days after they do it. And then now we can go to the video. So we wanted you guys to get the experience from one of the Spaniards, and so this is my pen pal Mo, and she'll introduce herself quickly, but we asked her to make a video about her experience, and hopefully there's sound. There should be sound. We put captions on it because we weren't sure everybody's, because her accent's a little. She becomes happier in a second.
Yeah.
She looks unhappy right now, but she smiles.
She's really cool. It's a good video. Oh.
No.
See, now she's almost smiling.
Is the technology?
Hello. Penpal.
Yes.
Sí, Janelle or Hannah?
Soy española, vivo en Granada, que está en el sur de España, y estudió la carrera primero en la Facultad de Psicología. Pues me encantaba hablar por correo todas las semanas y hacernos preguntas sobre nosotras. Era muy divertido mandarnos fotos y hablar sobre las festividades de un lugar y de otro. Pero me gusta mucho más nuestra relación ahora, donde tenemos más confianza entre ella y yo y hablamos más veces al día. Primero, las personas que son muy tímidas, les es más fácil hablar por correo y no estar cara a cara con la otra persona. Tú aprendes mucho de otro idioma, de verbos, estructuras, expresiones, los tiempos verbales. ¿Qué más? Cuando viajas al otro país, tienes allí a un amigo y a alguien que te enseñará la ciudad encantado. A cualquiera que tenga la oportunidad de establecer amistad con una persona de otro país, le animo a que lo haga. Puedes aprender muchísimo, puedes encontrar a un amigo buenísimo y puedes pasártelo muy bien. Pero eso sí, las cosas no vienen solas. Tú tienes que esforzarte, establecer una relación, implicarte, porque si no, no hay nada. Bueno, espero que se me entienda, que no habláis muy rápido y nada, espero que este vídeo os sirva. Un beso muy fuerte y que paséis muy buen día.
So she's really sweet. She spoke slower than she normally does from experience with Skype calls. She slowed it down a lot, but. And then I think we're inviting our teacher, Señorita Roberts.
Okay, so you may be thinking, this is a great idea, but how can I possibly do this? This is impossible. It's not impossible. This is the second time that I've done it. The first time in the US. Before I was living in Germany, and I started it with a teacher here to have my students have Penpals. It was German English, and now I'm doing Spanish English. It is possible, and yes, in this situation, I have a friend in Spain, Jen. We went to grad school together. But in the first situation, when I thought, I really want to do this, all I did was look for on Facebook and through my social networks, who do I know teaches? Who do I know who would maybe want to do this and set it up? And so here's some tips on how to find a cooperating teacher. You can look through social media. If you have any direct contacts of people you know that are teaching abroad, they can be obviously American teaching abroad, or Spanish speakers that live in a Spanish-speaking country or are teaching English as a second language. You can also search within the network of AATSP in your home state. I have no shame, I email everyone. If I'm looking for something, I just start emailing AATSP, flag, conference. I will just go through everyone I know to find something. So like next year I'll be teaching German, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna look for some group in Germany to do it because it's been such an incredible experience. And so I just go out there and start looking. I would even do it with somebody that I don't know to find that cooperating teacher. But it is nice that I do know Jen, and so we've been able to do this together. Another option would be to ask coordinators and instructors in study abroad programs. You know, UGA has a UGA Valencia study abroad program. I went there with a group of students, but you could just look through these programs and say, okay, who teaches English over there in the Valencia program? Okay, would you like to set up this email exchange? Here's how it works. It's not going to require a lot of work on your part. We just need to match up the students, and then they go from there. Another option would be to contact language departments at international schools. When I did it in Germany, I was at an international school and then just contacted a public school here to do it. Here's what you would do after this. And I am going to, after today, I will share this PowerPoint with the organizers so they can share it with you. And I'll also include the link on my calendar where I have the instructions that I give the students and the Excel sheet where I match them up so you can see exactly what we include. I created an Excel sheet with the student's name, their email, and before they don't see this part, but what I do with Jen, the cooperating teacher, is we type out little personality traits of everyone. You know, this is a really talkative student, or this is a student that is really into sports. This is a student that is, and so we try the best we can to see if we can match up personalities. Because we want it to be the most successful as possible. Sometimes it doesn't turn out well, but we do that. We type out, we have all the students' names, their emails from both schools, and then personality traits, and then we start to pair them up. And I ask the students, do you prefer male, female, or do you have no preference? Some definitely have a preference, and some do not. Some people have two pen pals because they just want to do extra. So we create, the last thing that you'll have to do is create, just easier for organization, an email address. So ours is Penpal GSMST Agustinos, so that I can make sure the project is going. When they write the emails, they write to their pen pal, but they also copy this email address on the email, so I have access. And it's not to spy on them. Obviously the emails need to be appropriate, but I now have this plethora of authentic input that I can use in my classes for years. I can take snippets of what they've written. Now I have all this authentic teenage talk, what I was talking about earlier. And I can take sentences, I can get phrases, let me teach them this phrase this week. So it's really nice for me to have this resource, and so I think this is essential that you have an email address, and it also holds them accountable. Whatever they want to do outside of the requirements for the project is fine, and so they must copy that email address. I'll include all the instructions, and if you have any other questions on how to find a cooperating teacher, I'd be glad to help you do it. Questions?
I mean, just coming from a teacher's perspective, I'm imagining presenting this to my students and I'm going, this is so awkward.
Yeah, they think it's awkward. Yeah, no, I can tell that some, when you present it to them, think like, oh God, why are you torturing us? I mean, and some of them really don't like it at all. That's why right now I do it in class, but what I'm thinking of doing for next year, because I do have those students who absolutely hate it, is doing it as only as a Spanish Honor Society activity, and those who really want to do it and really take part. Now, some of them who maybe had a bad attitude at the beginning, it changed, and they started to really enjoy it. But yeah, there's going to be some opposition from some students, and they think it's stupid or awkward or whatever. It's awkward when they don't respond.
It's the majority of them, or
No. The majority, I would say the majority.
Like it.
excited.
Yeah, the majority really like it. like, I think what Mara's point of, some people, it's more awkward for them to talk face to face, and email is this less pressured environment, and it's more comfortable for them. I would say the majority find it to be a positive experience.
Something else we do is every email we have to ask 2 questions. They ask us to, we ask them to. So it's like you're almost forced to talk about something, even if it's like awkward, I don't know what to say, just ask them a question, they'll answer, you feed off that.
And that's all in the PowerPoint. It says it must include 75 words, you must ask 2 questions, and you have to answer 2 questions. And so, if anything, even if a student doesn't find it enjoyable, you can see it as like a journal entry kind of project. You know, even if they don't find the interactional aspect of it to be fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You should do it. That's really fun. Because it translated.
In our district, we've got these really strict rules about being on camera and communicating with other students, communicating with other students.
How we have to email with students.
Yeah, do you have to deal with any of that?
Do I have to?
With like
So our county,
deal with strict regulations on communication between students.
like pictures,
being
on video.
I mean, before I took on the project, I presented it obviously to my department head and to my assistant principal and had them okay it. But since I'm copied on every single email, I have access to everything that they've written. They didn't have a problem with it. I think everything like taking on a project like this, you would have to consider it school by school and see if it would be something that would work with your school. If it was an optional extra activity for those who are motivated in Spanish Honor Society, I can see it causing less problems than as an in-class. I do it in all my classes, but that might change.
The pictures, they're not required. It's just like, oh, hey, we're friends now. Let's do this. Like, I don't have any of my friends. Probably just like talk. But it's worth considering all sides.
Yeah.
And they can't even use their own personal emails on school.
And
Oh,
she
yeah,
mentioned
that's
that
the
too.
thing.
But yeah,
Because we're at a STEM school, so we each
we have one-to-one laptops.
yeah,
We have
laptops.
personal laptops that we get,
Like,
so
we
we
have
use.
school email, but they can't email out. Can you?
No, you can't email to an email out.
You can't email anyone outside of the district.
Outside of the district.
Oh yeah, like we usually do ours at home and stuff, and I think like I use my own personal email, so I don't have issues.
They all do it at home. We don't have time to do it in class.
Are we allowed to?
Just have the time that they email me and I'm just like, get off the school Wi-Fi and get on your 4G to get the email to go through.
But I'm also thinking maybe a solution would be to create email addresses just for this.
Could you like create Gmails like Penpal1?
I mean, my Gmail for this is just for this. The Penpal GSMST is just for this. That might be an option.
Here in this county, I think we have people, they sit around and they dream up ways for us to get sued. And then they make rules.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, maybe.
But I'm not trying to defeat.
Oh, no, I
I'm looking for
understand.
advice
We
on
have a
it.
lot of liberty and we have a lot of flexibility, and I understand that that's not the case everywhere you go, and that wouldn't have been the case at other places that I've taught.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you had advice to get around that kind of thing. I wasn't trying to.
Friends along.
Yeah.
I think our answer is
Ask
just do it
forgiveness.
and don't tell anybody.
There you go. Yeah.
Seek, yes, seek
Did you have
forgiveness,
this,
not
or
permission.
was it the class before you that did it, and I didn't?
We wanted to, but it was the best for us.
She's successfully done it twice.
Hmm. I tried to get her, no, I tried to get her to do it, let's see what she did. Not that she doesn't ask questions, that, she just does that. Yeah. Yeah, she went at us.
Thanks for coming all the way from Georgia.
Are there no more questions?
No,
If there are no more,
You can do this.
if there are no more questions, I was
You can
gonna.
Snapchat her.
So, you guys want to?
Yeah.
So like on the count of 3, everyone just say hi, Mara.
Oh, cool.
Just pan like this.
Get over here.
You don't want to be in it?
Get over here.